Okay, ready to begin the first half of Season 8 Sim. Let me pull up the calendar first. I want to show the whole schedule. So there's the whole schedule. We're going to run with our team. We did the off season. I'm doing all this recording in one go, so I should have split the recording up into two different episodes. This is the beginning of the simulation of the Season 8 Sim as my brain continues to fatigue. Holy crap. This is a really tough recording to get through. So this is the month of October right there. That's the whole schedule for October. Pretty road heavy. November 2020, and that's what season we're in. We're in the 2020-2021 season, so if you know what happened in the real world at this time, things were very weird. This is very much unlike that. I'm still looking. There's the Blues right there. Rematch of the West Final against the St. Louis Blues. I will have those games on my radar when we get to those. We'll probably do those through the sim screen and not through the calendar screen. There's another game against the Blues. The season ends against Edmonton. Battle of Alberta. That could be a very important Battle of Alberta. That will be on home ice as well. The season opens. Did I see correctly? Goodness, this game is so slow. The screens are so slow. We open at home against LA. We shall get to that right now. Well, before I get to that, I do want to show the lines. It was in the off-season video. Of course, you know everything that went down in the off-season video. The trades that were made, the signings that were made. This is the first line. It's much like last year. Jiri Tolusti is back at the helm with Sagan, Riley Smith on the first line. We traded for Riley Smith in the off-season before Season 7. So, you know, Riley Smith stays in the fold. Lars Eller stays in the fold with Granlund still on the second line center. Kostitsin right wing on the second line. Rajala third line with Faksa. This is our trade from this offseason before Season 8 here. Radek Faksa acquired again. We make another trade with the Dallas Stars, sending them the goaltender Sateri in exchange for Faksa. It was more than that, but essentially the trade was Faksa for Sateri. I wanted it to be that way. The trade value was certainly there. And we get Radek Faksa to play on the third line center with Hanowski now. And he could bump up the lineup should we need that if we go through any struggles throughout the season. I'm sure this team will go through some struggles. I don't even know if this team is going to make the playoffs, honestly. Emerson with Cogliano, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to have to take a peek. Do I want Emerton as fourth line center or Cogliano? Right now we got Cogs in there as the fourth line center. I want Karan to be in the lineup full time this season. So Karan's going to be a big body on the fourth line, the power forward. He's the guy that we got from the Boston Bruins at the trade deadline, and we inserted him into like the last two games of the St. Louis Blues series just for the physical presence, and he actually scored a goal. So Karan ended up being more important than you would probably have realized. Defensively, we look like this. No Theo Peckham this year. We got rid of Theo Peckham, just was tired of him taking penalties in the playoffs, ill-timed penalties. Good physical presence on the blue line, but he signs as a free agent with Tampa or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was Tampa. So this is how we stack up now. Aaron Ekblad's still here, the rock of the back end. And this is not a bad blue line. We add Jonathan Blum in free agency. So that was our free agent addition to the team. Power play looks like that. Going into the season, 4-man power play looks like that. Penalty kill looks like that. 3-man PK. 4-on-4. 4-on-4, line 3. Extra attacker. Goalie. We add Darcy Kemper because we did end up using Sateri as a trade chip to get Faksa. We sent him to Dallas, and we end up signing Kemper in free agency to back up Mrazek. I mean, let's be honest. Peter Mrazek's probably going to play like all 82 games like he always does every year. He dropped to an 84 overall from an 85, so that does kind of suck to start the year, but, you know, I have never had any complaints with Mrazek. This is the shootout lineup. Hopefully that shootout lineup, if the games do go to that point, we can win some games in a shootout with what we got here. On with it, and let's jump into the sim screen because my brain is ever fatiguing. So this is the first game of the season opener on home ice to the power play. LA scores on the power play, didn't take long. Jeff Carter on Peter Mrazek. Don't tell me this is going to be a long year, but hey, Lars Eller answers right back with a Calgary power play goal of our own. Lots of penalties being called in this game, so the referees are not exactly letting anything slide from what I can tell. And there's Simon Luff, the blue liner, with a wrist shot that gets through. Maybe a seeing eye shot from the point. Calgary takes the 2-1 lead. They take a 3-1 lead. Ben Hanowski. Maybe Hanowski does need to play on the wing. Valentin Zykov gets the game tie. No, cuts the lead to 1 rather, and then the game is tied by Dustin Brown. Zykov is a sneaky little goal scorer in this game. I probably should have targeted him in a trade, but that could be a future idea in a future episode. We got a tie game going into the third period of play. Again, my brain is kind of melting right now. I'm trying to keep up with the sim and with what's going on. I'm trying my best right now. We get another power play, a long one we don't execute. Another one. Might want to fix the power play. Something to look into. Is game number 1 on the season going to go to overtime? It certainly will. A point is acquired by both teams. I'll take that. But let's send the fans home happy. Power play in overtime. Valentin in the shootout. Okay, in the shootout, I was going to say, did he get it shorthanded? In the shootout, Valentin Zykov wins the game for Los Angeles. The stats from the first game of the season: Eller from Hanowski, Luff from Toulouse and Laxo, Hanowski from Laxo and Eller. So it was a really tightly played game. So it wasn't terrible. Zykov with a big night. He had 2 points there and a shootout winner. There's the penalties real quick just so it's in the video. And just the home stats. Take a quick peek at the home stats. I'll scroll through very quickly. A few minuses in there, but nothing really overly egregious. Okay, now that we got that first game out of the way, we will do a sim screen like that with St. Louis when we get to St. Louis, but I want to get a good chunk of the season done. So I'm going to just sim, and we're going to find out. I think my auto-rotate goaltenders is off. Anyway, we're going to go 3 games at a time. I want to find out, can this team make the playoffs? Is this team good enough to make the playoffs? With a little bit of a small retooling, we basically lost older players that were depth, and we kept the basic core of the team the same, so not much should be different. We're still hinging on Peter Mrazek to be the guy in the net. We lose in regulation to Vancouver. I just want to blast through the simulation at this point. It's Season 8. I really want to get through Season 8 very quickly. Now, tweaks will be coming if they are necessary for this team. It will happen. If we can't find a way to start winning games and we go on a big losing streak, I will tweak the roster. You saw that we did beat the Colorado Avalanche to get our first official win on the season. We're going to go 2 in a row here. This is Dallas on the road, who we made the trade with. They do get a win in regulation. I've been keeping tabs. Now Minnesota, who's 4-1-0 to start the season. We're just collecting loss after loss. I'm going to give it 3 more opportunities to get some wins. Ben Hanowski leads the team in goals. Riley Smith, I brought you back on a new deal. You have to be better. I need Riley Smith to start taking over some games because Hanowski now has 5 goals in 7 games we played. We collected the win. I don't know who we beat. I don't even know who we just played, but we won the game. Hanowski is up to 5 goals. Lost to Winnipeg in regulation. We beat Chicago with a 5-4 win. Lots of goals in that one. If they lose to Nashville, there will be a few line changes. I'm going to tweak that. I'm going to move Hanowski to the first line. That's what I'm going to do. This team is on the verge of being a lottery, number 1 overall lottery. We lose 6-3 to Nashville. Not acceptable, especially a team that's 3-5-1. Honestly, I'm going to tweak just the lines. I'm not going to look at any stats or any specifics. Hanowski, you deserve to move up the lineup, so that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. I'm curious if this 4th line is a heavy minus. +2 from Cogliano. That might not be the problem. That may not be the problem line. Ooh. It's hard to tell. Caron, do you deserve to even be in the NHL? He doesn't have any points and he's a -1. He may not even be an NHL player. We're waiting on Muller, my center, to come in. Rajala has 7 points. What did I see there? +3, 3 goal. Oh my god. Maybe we move him up, play him with Hanowski on the second line, give him more minutes. Faxa, I'm curious. Have you done anything so far? 3 points, all right. And Granlund, are you a second line center or are you a big minus? He's a fat minus. I'm swapping him with Faxa. We're going to give that a try. Very small changes. Just a couple of small changes. I should have overviewed the changes and shown it in the video. You can see that Hanowski's going to get more ice time. He's producing, so I mean, why not? We'll try that out. Faxa gets moved up as well to play second line time. He's the big piece that we traded for. Just whatever we got to do to get this ship changing and moving in the right direction. We have back-to-back games against Phoenix, and one of those, that 1-0 loss was a brutal regulation loss. That's a tough one to not get any points out of. Hanowski keeps scoring. He's at 6 goals now. A 2-1 loss in regulation to Vancouver. This is just a brutal start to the season. I have to look at the D pairs too. I didn't even think about D pairs. I'm going to give it one more game. We need to find a win streak somewhere in here. The team just has got to go on a win streak. You know what, let's throw it around. Let's just throw it all around. Blum, you're going to be moved up there. Luff and Laxo switch places. We'll try all of that. 2 offensive defensemen on the middle pair, but whatever, we'll try it. I wonder if the power play is a problem as well. Hanowski is produced. Are most of Hanowski's goals power play goals? I should say 3 power play goals of his 6 goals. So yes, he's getting it done on the power play. Rajala with 1 power play goal and 6 assists, so he's assisting out there. Toulouse getting any power play goals in there? 3 power play goals from Toulouse, so he's getting it done with the man advantage. Sagan helping out on the man advantage. He has no goals yet on the man advantage, but 10 points. Riley Smith on the man advantage. Are you getting anything done on the power play? Obviously Riley Smith should be on the power play. 4 power play goals of those 5 goals. So maybe, I don't know what the power play percentage is. That's something I really need to take a look at to get a better picture. I mean, obviously we're one of the worst teams, but is it a goal scoring issue? It kind of is a goal scoring issue. The goals against are terrible. Defensively, we're pretty bad. The power play percentage leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's not, it's not terrible, but the PK. Okay, penalty kill we're going to address the penalty kill right now. Sagan with Faxa. I'm going to swap Faxa. You're going to play second penalty kill center. Riley Smith, you're coming off the PK. I need a defensively responsible player out there. I'm going to try Hanowski. Ooh, I may not try Hanowski. Cogliano, you're going to kill penalties. Cogliano along with Faxa. Eller, what's your defense category you're like? Okay, we'll try that out. Buff, you get up there, Laxo. You're off the penalty kill. Keith Ollie, congratulations. You're killing penalties now, buddy, with Seeloff. I don't know why I didn't even look into that before the season even started. The brutality that is this team, man. I'm so tired doing this video. I'm doing it anyway. It's 11:30 at night. And I'm cutting this recording on a Friday night at 11:30. 2-3 loss in regulate. I think the season's a loss. I really do. I think this season is a total wash. I mean, unless we can find a 10-game win streak. We are as good as done. I don't think this roster can compete. No way this team makes playoffs. We just keep losing games. We are full tank mode. I can't wait until Muller is ready. He'll be ready next season. I might try a call-up from the A. I don't know what to do now. I really don't know what to do. Okay, time for really just crazy changes. I'm just going to do something I'm going to do crazy changes here. Eller, you're getting on the first line. I don't know if Luff is the problem defensively. He's a +2, so he and Ekblad work out. Blum must be terrible. Yes, he is. Oh my god, he's a -11. Seeloff, you're getting in there. Blum, you're down on the bottom pair with Keith Ollie. Hopefully that anchors. We can't have 2 offensive-minded defensemen on the second pair. We just can't do that. I'm going to try that. I don't know what other changes there are to be made. I'm throwing up the white flag on this season. I surrender. This season is a wash. It is mid to late November in the game. And there's a 6-1 win. So I've figured something out apparently. Maybe I have gone full genius mode. 10-game win streak incoming. Who knows? Nope. 4-1 loss. The season's gone. Okay, with that being said, I'm trying to think. Do we have anyone that we could sell off at the deadline? Just become sellers? I have one more thing on my pocket that I might try. I got to do the scouting. This might be an important draft year. A good year to tank because we do have that first round pick. I think I sent off my second rounder. I can't remember if I have this year's second rounder, but this could be a good year to just tank it. Send it all the way in. There won't be any playoff games. We just get through season 8. Bring in Muller. It would make it easy to just fly through the sim without a care in the world. I mean, my other option is I scratch a player or two, and I got a couple of guys that I can call up, or I think I have one guy that's... Do I have someone that's a healthy scratch? I know I got Zach Sill in the minors. I could try that one out. That fourth line's kind of brutal. I don't know if Karan is an NHL player, but we're starting to find some wins here. We're winning a few. We're up to 7-14-1. It's slightly less worse. Hanowski leading the team in goals is very disappointing and not acceptable. You can't have Ben Hanowski as the leading goal scorer on your team and think you're going to make the postseason. So either we take Karan or we take Emerton out. Let me take a look at this. I don't think I have anyone scratched. Do I have David Day? Let's just... Desharnais, you're getting in there instead. Try that out. Forgot to scratch Emerton. There we go. Is David Desharnais on the fourth line the saving grace for this Flames team here in Season 8? I highly doubt it. If we turn things around with Desharnais on the fourth line, well, I mean, we just shut out the Canadians with a 4-0 win. Possibly. Ben Hanowski is a freaking revelation, dude. He's hit double digits going into December. I don't know how many games we played, so that's 9-15-1. That's 25 games. Yeah, 25 games in. 10 goals in 25 is pretty good. That's like, what would you say that is? That's like a 30-40 goal pay. He could probably have 30-40 goals if he continued. He's got 12 now. I'm just on the Hanowski train right now. I want to see how many freaking goals Ben Hanowski scores. If he hits 40 this year, I'm going to be pissed off. If Ben Hanowski is the leading goal scorer on the Flames by season's end and he hits like 30-40 goals, this guy should be playing on like the fourth line. You guys are also really going to freaking piss me off if you start winning games now. I want to go full tank mode. We need to be one way or the other. There needs to be no in between. Oh crap, St. Louis. Well, yeah, you know, I said we would do this. We will real-time sim this. Just because, sure. I want to see my team suck from this screen. This is going to be fun. 4-time sim, all the goals. Just get through it real quickly. St. Louis on the power play. They're going to score. They do. Jaden Schwartz. We're very familiar with that guy. We're very familiar with this Blues team. It would be nice to beat the Blues, though, in a rematch on home ice at the Saddle Dome. I had something that I wanted to say about that series, but I just think that we were overmatched in that best-of-7 series against the St. Louis Blues. There's David Backes on the power play, the Conn Smythe winner. It's a shame that we lost in the Game 7, but at least we lost on the road and not on home ice. It could have been worse, but it sucks to know we had 2 chances to win the series, advance to the Cup final, and we lost both chances. We lost both games that we needed in order to advance. We're not going to win this game, are we? We can't get it done on the power play at all. Long power play. Like, we spent half the period on the power play. So, this team has a lot of problems. I don't know how to solve any of the problems. We are in full tank mode. We're going to get a shutout on home ice against the Blues. They continue to one-up the Calgary Flames. Yep, scoring summary, penalty summary. I want to know what was... So all of that was a minor, double minor, and a minor. Why we were on the power play for so long there. I don't really care about the stats at this point. Well, just resume tank mode. Tank mode resumed. We're gonna play St. Louis in a back-to-back home and home. So that means we have to now travel to the Scott Trade Center, which is, of course, where we unfortunately got eliminated. And I still got the bitter taste in my mouth from the defeat in that series. We beat St. Louis in that one. We won 3-2. So I should have just simmed the game at home from this screen. If that loss ends up affecting our ability to make the playoffs at season's end, because if for some reason we go on a miraculous win streak, I'm going to be a little pissed off. We are winning more games now, though. It's kind of crazy how we've turned it around a little bit here. Now that we're at Christmas, we have the Christmas Eve game on December 24th at home against Los Angeles, which we dropped 3-1. Ben Hanowski has gone silent now. He's stuck on 12 goals. What is the term that I'm looking for? He got 13 now. Okay. The regression, that was the word that I was looking for. The regression for Ben Hanowski is real. Anyway, on with the sim. The post-Christmas part of the sim now. Just trying to do this all in one video, if it's possible. I think it would be easier to just sim the whole thing in one video, because this team just doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell at making the playoffs. No way. Back to the good old losing streak. Don't put any more points in the bag now. I haven't looked at the standings at all because I don't need to. Phoenix is on a run this year, 24-9-4. What a heater of a season. We're going to just keep handing these guys points. Well, I take that back. We won that game. We took points off of Phoenix in that game. Just one game, not really going to affect the outcome of the season for the Coyotes. They're going to make the playoffs 100%. We'd be lucky to sniff a wild card position. But good news is, we're not the only team in Alberta that's struggling. The Oilers, they win 4-0. So now I want to see, are we really, really out of it? We're actually surprisingly not really, really out of it. The wild card right now, I got to take a quick look. I got to take a long glance at this. The wild card would be St. Louis and Winnipeg right now. We're 10 points out of that wild card position. That's a lot to make up from January onward because we're past New Year's now. That is a lot to make up, but it's not impossible. You need more than Ben Hanowski to be the leading contributor on your team offensively. With that being said, should we give Ben Hanowski the first line ice time and just see what happens and roll with it? I think this is the year of Ben Hanowski. I think that's the solution. I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna try it, depending on how these next couple of games go. Yeah, let's get Ben Hanowski to go on the first line. He can play with some real talented players in Sagan and I guess Riley. Yeah, Sagan and Riley Smith, because Riley Smith has to be on that first line. Then again, we just keep he's producing on whatever line he's playing on. The second line now. He's producing on that line. Why change anything? He's scoring all these freaking goals or on the power play. However the hell he's getting these goals. We're collecting little points here and there. That loss to Toronto was in extra time. We're now to 3 overtime or shootout losses. That was a win over Philadelphia as well that we just played. Now we got Washington on a back-to-back. We could get back to about 500 hockey here. 7-2. Are you kidding? This team has just decided to start catapulting itself up the standings with a few wins here. After Carolina, what do we look like? What did we look like after this game? It's a win. Where the hell does that put us? 45 points? Not out of reach. Not unreasonable for this Flames team. We're starting to pull away from Anaheim. And we got the same amount of points as... That's the crazy part. We got the same amount of points as Nashville. But if you look all around that wild card spot, so 4th, 5th place in both divisions, it's tight. And we're just, 7 points in back of St. Louis right now. We are 4 points in back of Vancouver. This is feasible. This is actually feasible for this team. And by the way, it's the All-Star break. So... West All-Stars, who's representing what? So, just the West All-Stars for right now. George Rita. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. George Rita, Jonathan Taves, Bobby Ryan, Nathan McKinnon, Couture, Lipon. You know who it's going to be for Calgary, right? It's going to be the legend, Ben Hanowski. Oh, that's right. Mikael Granlund, not Marcus Granlund. Mikael Granlund with Nugent Hopkins, Chandler Stevenson. Vincor, Kubalik, and Gorge. So there is no Hanowski. The disrespect, man. Johnson, Ekblad. So it's Aaron Ekblad representing us on the blue line. Edler, McEwen, Yandel, Conberg. That's it. That's it for the goaltenders. Corey Crawford and Byzantine in the net. So just the one lone Calgary representative is Aaron Ekblad. I was keeping an eye on this. Ovechkin, Crosby, Giroux. Ovechkin, Crosby, Giroux. That's just unfair. What the hell? That's just unfair. What a top line from the East All-Stars. Nash, Stamkos, Voracek. Oh, they win this game easily. Because look at this. Tavares centering Van Riemsdyk and Matt Pumple. I'm pretty sure was the correct pronunciation of his last name. Ennis, Eric Stahl, McDavid. Goodness. McDavid, by the way. I forgot to look at McDavid. He's 89 overall now. Murray, Hedman, Pulley and Larson, or Pulley, Dalroth and Krug. These are created players now at this point. We're so deep into the GM mode. I got to go all the way to the end for the goaltender. Makarov, Moran, Makarov, no Russian. Every time I see the name, I got to make the joke. So we're at the All-Star break. We're at the All-Star game there. This is the standings as of the All-Star game going into the game against the Columbus Blue Jackets on the road. Do you think it's feasible that this team makes the playoffs? I mean, we could try and throw Ben Hanowski on the first line and just see what happens, but he's been producing. I gotta see it now. He's on the second line. He's been producing on the second line, and I haven't even taken the time to pause and take a look at stats because I just want to just blast right through this simulation. So I don't even know what everybody else is doing. But I do know what Ben Hanowski is doing. 16 goals in however many games we played to this point. That would be 45 games. 45 games into the season. 16 goals is not terrible. That is pretty much a 30-goal pace right now for Ben Hanowski. Can he keep it up? Can we make the playoffs? The playoff chase is suddenly, I guess, back on. We lost 5-2. You know, depending on how these next two games goes, if we win both of them, I will leave it as it is. If we lose, I'm going to try the Ben Hanowski on the first line trick. And there's a lot. I'm going to try it. I put him on the first line. Ben Hanowski is about to be unlocked. Oh, we get shut out. The first game with him on the first line, and we get shut out. Yeah, never mind. This team's not making the play. 3 straight losses to come out of the All-Star break. In those 3 straight losses, we scored 1 goal per game, basically. So we scored 3 goals in 3 games. Not good enough. Not making it. Oh, there's a 5-2 win. Hanowski did not get a goal in that contest with the Bruins. Oh, this team is teetering on mediocrity. I hate it. We can't decide which way we want to be. We can't go one way or the other. We get a win there, and since he's been moved to the first line, he has not scored a goal. Ben Hanowski, that is. 49 points. Can this team pull off? It would take a miracle to make it. We'd have to get so hot, but I want to see. If we just kind of manage to keep it really close, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat till season's end. There's a win. So we came out of the All-Star game and out of the All-Star break losing 3 straight. We collect 3 straight wins. We get back to 500 amazingly. This team got back to 500. We did lose there to Florida, but whatever. You move on. That would be Connor McDavid's team, by the way. The Florida Panthers, they have Connor McDavid. A 500 team in February. I don't see a team playing 500 hockey at this point in February. I just don't see it. It would take a win streak of the ages, a win streak of the gods to make the playoffs with this team, and we started dropping games in regulation again. Riley Smith has taken over the goal scoring lead, by the way. He has 17 of them now. Riley Smith is taking over. Suddenly Riley Smith decides, I can't have this Hanowski guy coming up to the first line and showing me up. He has decided that he has a job to do. Well, that's great. Get this team into the playoffs then, Riley Smith. It's not good enough there. We're moving Hanowski back down. I don't so much think that it's Hanowski on the first or second line or anything like that that's the problem. I think we have bigger problems than that. We have big fish to fry here. And we're going to see at the end of the season what the penalty kill numbers are going to be for the overall all-around season, and it's going to be atrocious. The power play and the penalty kill numbers are going to be god-awful. I think that's where a lot of the problems stem from for this team. It could also be the goaltending, but, Peter Mrazek is used to shouldering this kind of a load every year after year after year. We move Hanowski back to the second line, and the team's producing again. I don't even know if we can get in at this point. I don't know if we can get in. Like I said, just we need some help along the way. So other teams are going to have in front of us are going to have to start losing. We need to start taking care of our own business. Just go on a massive winning streak or limit the losses. The losses need to start being severely limited for us to make it. So we're at the deadline now. I got to decide if I want to sell off pieces. I don't even know that I have any pieces I could sell off anyway. This team doesn't have a ton of aging players on it, aside from maybe Cogliano, but we could take him out. We could put Emerton on the fourth line as a center, but we're winning games right now. Well, this is the East. I'll just show you the East right now. Connor McDavid is making a difference for the Florida Panthers. The West, dude, I mean, realistically, we still have a shot. No, you know what? The wild card is 70 points. There's no way. I gotta sell off at the deadline. I'm selling off. Hold on, let me take a look at something. So by age, we got Desharnais, who's old, but I don't even know. There might be, you know what? Desharnais may have some trade value. We could move. We put him in the lineup. Cogliano's 33. Yeah, I'm gonna sell some pieces. Gonna sim past the Pittsburgh game first before we do some selling. But I got a couple of pieces. I gotta at least get something back, some kind of draft capital. Yeah, there you go. That's all that I needed to know. A loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're too many points out with too little of the season remaining. The simple solution is to sell. Sorting by age. Forget about BJ Crombie. We got Desharnais, Cogliano are the main ones. I'm going to just try to... Let me see. I could maybe try to package both of these guys. Let me see. There's the trade value of Cogliano combined with Desharnais. What could that fetch us? It would be basically a draft pick. So you're looking at maybe either getting futures or trying to get a pretty decent... Maybe a decent... Let me see here. Maybe try to get a decent little skater. You might be able to pull, like, I would love to pull a defenseman, like a Lindholm would be fun. Hampus, there's no way the trade value is there for Hampus Lindholm without sending them like a draft pick. I didn't even pay attention to who would be buyers and sellers, but I'm just looking at what teams are willing to take on these two players. That's the main thing. Sell them off, but we could sell them for a young... I'm just looking to sell them for like a young player. Torrey Krug would be fun, I guess, but... Buffalo wants him. Okay. Man, I really wanted Justin Falk, but the value of Falk is crazy, man. This makes some sense. Well... Yeah, this makes some sense for them. Okay. How about this? We send Desharnais and Cogliano to Edmonton, who are in a chase for the playoffs right now. I don't know if they would actually agree to this, but we could get the younger Oscar Klefbom. 3 years remaining. I wonder if they'd be willing to do this. I may have to throw in a draft pick here to get Klefbom, but I want to get a younger player for these aging players. Let's see if Edmonton decides to agree to this. No way. I knew no way. A future second. I'm not willing to throw a first in there. I'm throwing in that second in here. There's no way that Edmonton agrees to this, but maybe I'll retain some I'll retain even retain some salary on like Cogliano. I can retain half of that contract. And they agreed to it. Okay. Well, there you go. We got Oscar Klefbom from the Edmonton Oilers. So the two Alberta teams do a trade. Yeah, I know. My team needs... We need to do roster moves now. That means Colton Sevior is getting called up. That's fine with me. I might be able to... I may just... Am I missing just what? Am I just missing one? I'm missing two, so would I have to call someone up? Well, I have the scratched... I have the scratched Corey Emerton, right. You know, Hanowski, sure, get in there on the penalty kill. I don't really care. Do whatever you want to do, buddy. We are in full tank mode. Okay, there we go. I sold off my players. I got Oscar Klefbom. More for the future, really. For the Calgary Flames, we got him from Edmonton. Oh, Ristolainen was placed on waivers. Why was I not notified of that? Maybe I'll get notified of that in a second. So these are all trades that have gone down. This is well before the deadline, so just a whole bunch of trades right here. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm going to get a notification that Ristolainen was sent down on waivers. Ooh, Hunter Shenkaruk. Acquired by Dallas for Jesper Fast and a 2021 second-round pick. Some more trades going down. Alex Edler. Acquired by Washington from Vancouver. So Vancouver's selling off. You know what I should have done? Someone's going to claim that player. Someone is definitely going to claim... Yeah, someone's going to claim Ristolainen. I probably should. John Mitchell, no. I should have traded... I scratched Seeloff. I probably should have traded him. Anyway, that's something to revisit in the offseason. We are in full tank mode now. It's official. We're tanking. I didn't get any futures. I just got Klefbom, a young defenseman, who's now in the lineup officially. And I can go ahead and tell you, go ahead and look forward to Season 9 because Klefbom is going to be a big piece of the blue line going into Season 9. We have to just retool it because this team is not even close to good enough to get into the postseason. So hopefully we don't ruin our ability to get a top 10 pick here. Don't ruin it for me. Riley Smith is going to go on a tear. We're going on a tear now. You know what? Never mind. I got to stop this team from going on a tear. I got to put Hanowski up there. Everton. No. Granlund, you're going to play second line. Everton, your fourth line. There we go. Now, gentlemen. Let's do this like a proper tank job, okay? Proper tank job now. I probably should have had goaltenders rotated, auto-rotated, but anyway, it's too late for that now. It's late in the season. I just want to get a good draft pick. Let's do a proper... And we're winning games. We're winning games now. We've got back to 500. Are you kidding me? I shuffle the roster around. We're going to go on a big 10-game winning streak to end the season, and we'll miss the playoffs by like 1 point. Watch. Watch it. Oh, well, there's a loss to Nashville. That's what we needed. There's a loss. There we go. Start losing games right now. Well, Seeloff was a problem. He's a penalty-taking machine. He had 96 penalty minutes. And he's not playing in the lineup now. He's a healthy scratch. So I should have made that trade for Klefbom a lot sooner. And we're back to 500 now. Make up your mind. Riley Smith is going to score enough goals and have enough production to have earned that contract extension that I gave him in the offseason. We re-signed Riley Smith in the offseason, which is something that they didn't even cross my mind going into the offseason, that we would have to sign him to a new deal. Well, he's going to earn the new contract that I gave him with what could be a 30-goal season still yet. I needed you to produce like this when the season started. We're now at 500. We just keep staying right at 500. This is a team that's just mediocre at best. Managing to miss the playoffs by just a couple of points, probably. Shot ourselves in the foot at a top 5 pick, but not like it really matters. You won't see these guys because you won't see them in the NHL now because we're not playing enough seasons. Yet we have 73 points. And I mean, the playoffs are still slightly possible. Have we officially been eliminated? It would take a hell of a run. There's no way. We just lost to Phoenix. Yeah, there's no way. But congratulations, Riley Smith, on your possible 30 goals. I mean, 3 more goals, 2 more goals now for Riley Smith needed. We just can't tank properly. We can't do a proper tank job. And it's a disappointing season. The goal for the team by the ownership was to get 40 wins. We're going to be 4 wins shy of 40 by the season ends. Well, make that 3 now. We just win another game. Riley Smith has collected 29 goals. Is it going to end up being a winning record or a losing record? At this point, it really doesn't matter. It's really not going to affect the draft positioning too much. Whether we win a game or 2 here, I guess just try to carry a positive note into the offseason. So, yeah, now we're dominating. Now we're starting to get our game together. Riley Smith collects 30 goals, which if we made the playoffs, I would be very happy with that. But we're not a playoff team. We do have a winning record. We've hit 40 wins. Great. That may save my job. We have 40 wins. We're 4 points out with 1 game left in the season. If we were just a little bit better, you know, we could be in the playoff conversation if we were just a little bit better. It's a question of what draft pick we will have. I have no idea. We'll take a look at the final stats for the season. This has been a drag to actually sim this season because we just haven't been competitive enough. We play Clefbaum's former team, the Oilers, and that puts it to an end. The season is over. We had a 40-39-3 record. We finished with a 500, basically playing 500 hockey. Slightly better than that. We did technically have a winning record. The East shaped up like this with the Metro taken by the dominating Tampa Bay Lightning. They continue to win again. I assure you that Drouin had a big part in that season. We'll take a look at stats very briefly. St. Louis wins the Central, so St. Louis is really back on one. Edmonton makes the playoffs. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it in, so there won't be a Battle of Alberta this year. I desperately want that Battle of Alberta. But we finish with 83 points. That's definitely going to get us... What is that going to get us? Well, you got the East to worry about. And, you know, the East was not that strong either. But anyway, we finished 6 points behind Winnipeg. So we were 6 points out of a playoff spot. This is too much for my brain to do right now. I will briefly look at stats, but I'm not going to break everything down. It's just the way the season went. I want it all here so it can be archived in history. So we finished, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points out. We'll have a top 10 pick at least. Looking at it on the bright side, maybe the scouting department can really, shine in the NHL draft. We can get a great piece in the draft. Goals for per game, how bad was it? 14. So middle of the pack in goals for per game. That goals against per game came down. So we just finished middle of the pack, basically. We just middle of the pack team with a power play that didn't get any worse or any better. Actually, wait a minute, hold on. We had a top 10 power play with a 17% power play. Yeah. So 18% is pretty good on the power play, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. So 18% is a pretty decent power play. So the power play was pretty good. The PK was a letdown. It was actually one of the worst in the league. If it was just a little bit worse, it would have been the worst PK in the league. So PK needed to be cleaned up. I bet you Seelov had a lot to do with that. He took a lot of penalties, forced the team into a lot of bad spots. But I'm not going to look at this much longer than I need to. How did we shake out compared to the rest of the division? Goodness gracious, I'm all over the place. So the Pacific, in terms of goals for, we were one of the best goal scoring teams in the Pacific Division, but the goaltending was a bit of a letdown in the division. That's what really kept us out of that playoff spot. As well for Season 8, what happened? Sagan, not bad. 21 goals, 68 points. So shy of being a point per game player. And these top players, I want to see what they did. So he had a bit of a fall off. Got worse in terms of plus minus, less production, but better production than 18-19 season. Was 17-18 the first year that Seguin was here? Didn't he score 30 goals when he was here? That first year here? Because I'm trying to go back. Season 8, Season 7, Season 6. Oh, I do not remember. Yeah, because Seguin was here when we made the playoffs. So the way it went is, this is this season. This is Season 7, made the playoffs. We missed the playoffs here in 18-19, but we did make the playoffs with Seguin, didn't we, in 17-18? So, anyway, my point is, he had a bit of a fall off statistically. 6 power play goals. That's about similar to what he's done the previous 2 seasons. One shorty, 229 shots. So he basically attempts the same amount of shots every year. Rajala was second in points. That's crazy. 59 points. Must have had way better production. Yes, way better production than years previous. Actually, his best season was here in 18-19 with 18 goals, 56 points. Marcus Granlund, compared to last season, 57 points this year. He had 68 the year before that and 29 goals. Similar production, but a bit of a fall off in point total. Yeah, his point totals got pretty bad, and he was a -7. Riley Smith, 52 points, but the 30 goals. He continues to knock 30-goal seasons on the board. Really proud of that aspect of Riley Smith. He is that goal scorer that Sven Baertschi was just not quite as, but it seems like the ceiling for Smith as a 30-year-old is 30 goals. He's not going to score 40, maybe, unless he just went on a heater. 52 points, worst production since 2017-18. And last year in 19-20 was the first year that we had Riley Smith. And his playoffs was pretty phenomenal. He had 20 games played, 13 goals, 20 points. I mean, he was exceptionally good in that playoff. Could have been a candidate for the Conn Smythe Trophy. Jiri Tolusti, what is his comparison? 20 goals, 51 points, just similar production. It's pretty much the exact same production from Jiri Tolusti. Hanowski with the season of all seasons, dude. Holy crap. Well, he cooled off a lot, actually. He had 28 AHL numbers, but NHL numbers, 22 goals, his best season. He just progressively gets a little bit better on the goal scoring front. 46 points. He did cool off, but 10 goals on the power play. I mean, he is a sneaky little weapon on the power play. Radek Faksa with 19 goals, 25 assists, 44 points. Not anywhere near as productive as I would have liked to have seen him be, considering that I think we had him on the second line for much of the season, wearing the McDavid number. But he was a +5. I don't know what he was in faceoffs. I don't have that stat here. But I basically needed a rock at center, and I guess he was good enough at center. Eller, 10 goals, 37 points. Yep, the drop-off for Eller. Drop-off for Kostitsyn, a little bit. Definitely point-wise, he definitely saw a drop-off. I think everyone saw a drop-off. Caron, 7 goals, 14 points. I mean, that seems to be very consistent with what he does, but he played 82 games, whereas the season before, 63 games, 8 goals, 11 points in 63. So, I mean, just a fourth-line power forward for me. He's just here for adding size to the lineup. Corey Emerton and Colton Sevior just got in there because of the trade that we made. So my defenseman, Ekblad, no big surprise. Best producing defenseman offensively, just 25 years young, 48 points. His best point production since 17-18, and he hit 9 goals again. Any of them on the 5 on the power play, +6. I mean, a rock on the back end for this team. We're really leaning on Aaron Ekblad here. Alexei Laxo, more point production, his best season of these 4 that are shown here in point production. He just keeps getting better. 5 goals, 7 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals in 82 games, but a -7. Clefbaum, really not something to pay attention to. 3 goals, 28 points, 82 games played. But he was traded out of Edmonton, so I don't know how many total games he played here. Simon Luff, 82 games played, 20 points, 7 goals. Jonathan Blum, our free agent signing, 19 points in 82. Keith Ollie, 9 points in 82, 1 goal scored, and -5. Seeloff was a problem. He had to be -12, 4 points, 96 penalty minutes, just a penalty taking machine. Kemper got in 6 games, and again, all 82. Peter Mrazek, what a Terminator in the net. 90 save percentage. So, I mean, what did he have last year? He played all 82. I know this is crazy. And I'm tired. I'm ready to shut the recording down. But his GAA actually got better. From a 2.9 to a 2.7. And we still missed the playoffs. With very similar save percentage numbers. How many shots faced? Shots against. He faced less shots against than he did the previous season. But very similar stuff from Peter Mrazek. Well, I'm going to shut it here because I'm getting exhausted and I just need to go on with my evening. And I think we'll just take a look at the whole NHL stats before we sim up to the off season and do all that in a different video. I'm just losing it sitting here recording this. I need to get at recording the off season for ahead of season 9 tomorrow, where I will have a clearer mind for recording that kind of thing. We'll take a full look at all of the stats, who wins the Stanley Cup, all that stuff. We'll go into the draft, prepare for another season of simulating, and hopefully I can be fully energized for that recording.